you ever buy into something only to wish you hadn't? Maybe it's a family member's drama, a sales pitch, a limited time only offer that suddenly wasn't so exclusive. If you're always regretting the buy-in, this one's for you. Hi, I'm Kylie, a retired paramedic, and this is Everyday Ambo, where I share the real-life lessons from the job. Not the easy stuff, like how to slap on a bandage or start a cannula. I'm talking about the tough stuff. The stuff we struggle to wrap our minds around, like realising we got something wrong, or that we could have done something better. These are the lessons that hit hard when dealing with people's lives. And this is lesson number 14, I'm not buying it. Salespeople are everywhere. The shops, the internet, cold calls, social media, everybody is selling something, whether it's a product, a belief, a story, or their own brand. But here's the thing. Just because somebody is great at selling doesn't mean that what they're selling is good. And even if it is good, you still don't have to buy it. As a paramedic, we are also in the business of buying and selling. Every patient you see has a story to sell. A story about how sick they are and what they think needs to happen next. Some people don't have to work hard to sell their story. They're dead sick. Others, not so much, but they work for it. So here's the funny part. Many of the truly sick people will deny anything is wrong with them, even if they're clinging to life. I've seen families unable to believe that their loved one has died, despite the undeniable reality. And then there's the opposite. People who aren't very sick but insist they're dying. Their families join in, the drama builds, and suddenly it's a full production. Which raises the real question. Why do we delude ourselves? The human mind is brilliant at survival. One of its strongest skills is protecting us from the harsh realities, because reality can be destabilising, and we hate feeling destabilised. That's why we resist being wrong. It threatens our ability to trust ourselves, and if we can't trust our own assessment of reality, how do we even determine if we're alive or dead? That's destabilising. Our brains are wired to find patterns and to trust our own assessment. If something disrupts what we think we know, rewiring is hard work. That's called neuroplasticity, and it's exhausting. So instead of admitting we're wrong, we rationalise why reality is wrong instead. Think about this. A paramedic cares deeply about getting their assessments right. Why? Because their ability to do their job depends on it. And how that ability is assessed by others is also dependent on it. So when a patient insists their assessment is right and the paramedic insists they are right, suddenly you have two people fighting for who is better at their job. Welcome to the battle of egos and the reason everybody wants to be right. So what do you think? Who's more likely to get the assessment right? A person assessing themselves? Or someone who assesses people for a living? We all have a bias, mental shortcuts that help us make quick decisions. These shortcuts have worked before, so we assume they'll work again. But sometimes they lead us astray. Instead of assessing what's right in front of us, we default to what we remember. We focus on similarities and we miss crucial differences. Take two people with a sore foot and blood pooling around their toes. What's the obvious assumption? They stepped on something sharp, right? But hold on. One of them has a bullet wound to the chest and their foot's just in the puddle of blood. The other stepped on a nail. Look the same, but completely different problem. So here's the thing. When we buy into our own stories, we're often wrong, whether we're the patient or the paramedic. And getting it wrong means reality can sneak up on you. Believing that nothing is wrong and suddenly someone dies? Surprise! Believing everything is wrong and suddenly no one dies? That's also a surprise. As an individual, you might celebrate being wrong about one of those things. As a paramedic, neither is a win. Paramedics don't like surprises because surprises mean we got something wrong. That's why we learn fast, faster than most people, because the stakes are higher. So when someone tries to sell me something, I always ask myself the question, what's the impact if I get this wrong? Will someone die? If the answer is yes, I'm not buying it. If the answer is no, I'm probably still not going to buy it, but I'll at least enjoy the entertainment for a little bit longer. So what do you think? Are you buying it? Drop a comment below. Tell me about something you bought into, and more importantly, how did you cope when you found out that you were wrong? We all buy into things, and sometimes we find out that we were wrong. What matters is how we cope and what we do next. See you in the next lesson.